What's happening, family? It's your boy Percy Robinson, and I represent DiaBEAST Kitchen. My story begins September of 2017. Now, your boy was about 300 pounds. You know what I'm saying? I was in a deep, dark depression. And I had a lot of demons that I had to deal with. So, wasn't drug related. Let's get that straight. It wasn't drug related. But I did have a lot of demons I had to deal with. And I didn't know how to deal with them. You know, my mental health was at risk, and my physical health was at risk as well. But that day in September, I was at work, and I wasn't feeling too well. I had the sweats. My vision was pretty blurry. You know, my legs were cramping up, and I was throwing up, and I didn't know what was going on. I thought that I was coming down with the flu. So I told my boss at the time, I was like, hey, I'm not gonna be able to finish out the day. I need to leave because I'm really not feeling too well. And I got in my car and I drove from Oakland all the way to Vacaville. And for those who aren't familiar with California in the Bay Area, it's about a 45-minute drive. I was driving in my car, and I was still I just wasn't feeling well at all, and my face was just, you know, sweating, and, you know, my kidneys were hurting, like everything in my body was hurting. And I was like, you know what, I'm just going to take this exit, go to the crib, and just sleep it off. But there was something in the back of my mind, right? Something in the back of my mind said, you know what, just go to the emergency room, get yourself checked out. So I went to the emergency room, and I sat in there, and I'm like, you know, I told the lady like my symptoms, what's going on, and they immediately rushed me up to the ICU. So that's when they started taking the tests, and at that time, like, I was just like, my body and just everything was just shutting down, and I just felt so tired. So I pretty much passed out, and I wake up, and the nurse and doctor come up to me, and they say, Mr. Robinson, you are now a type 2 diabetic. You have type 2 diabetes. And I really didn't know too much about this disease, so I'm already thinking the worst, right? And I was talking to the nurse, and I was like, man, I was just gonna go home and sleep this off, you know, because I feel like I was coming down with the flu. And she said, it's a good thing that you came here at this moment, because you were minutes away from a diabetic coma. Your organs were shutting down. And if you would have went home, you wouldn't have not woken up. And that right there, that scared me. That scared me so much. So after, you know, I got done talking to the nurse, the doctor came back in and said, hey, you know, you're going to be on insulin for the rest of your life. And I'm like, man, I gotta take drugs every day. I gotta take this drug. I gotta insert this drug inside my body every single day to control my blood sugars. And I'm confused because I'm so used to, you know, doing things a certain way, right? And in my mind, I'm trying to comprehend. I'm like, how am I going to deal with this disease, you know, and live a regular life? And right when I was thinking that, the nurse walked in, you know, right after the doctor left. And she said, you know, you can live with this disease and maintain it by just doing two things: diet and exercise. Watch what you eat and exercise daily. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, whoa, that's all I have to do. So I thanked her about, you know, for the information, you know, the game that I thanked her for the game that she just laid on me, you know what I'm saying? And it gave me a lot to think about, you know, because I'm still at this stage where like I'm feeling sorry for myself, but I really have to get myself out of this that I'm in. So I'm laying there and I have all these thoughts in my head, right? I have all these thoughts in my head. I'm like, you know, how am I going to do this? How am I going to get the strength to do all this, you know, by myself? So while I was laying in the bed, I was thinking to myself, my why. My why and your why is what motivates you to get yourself up? What motivates you for success? You know, what motivates you to get your life in order? Get your health life in order. And the only thing I can think of was my daughter. My daughter means the world to me. From the moment she was born, like I took on that protective role, you know. And she's the one that kept me going, you know. She's the one that motivated me to go down this other road of healthy eating. And I mean, she's pretty much responsible for me being here. Without her even knowing, she's responsible for me being here. And I did it for her. I mean, I didn't want to be the person to leave her to fend for herself in this world under this climate. You know, I am here to protect her, and I can't protect her if I am unhealthy or to a wheelchair or can't move. You know, I need to be as healthy and as strong as I can be to be her protector. Another thing that came to my mind was like, I want to be able to go to her high school graduation, her college graduation. I wanted to be able to walk her down the aisle when she ends up getting married. I hope never, but I want to be able to walk her down the aisle. Like, I want to be there for each and every milestone in her life until I can, or until I can't anymore. And hopefully that's when I'm like 100 and something. But that was the motivation. So Eliana, if you are watching this, baby, you are my motivation. You are the reason why I get up each morning and I sacrifice my time and my energy into this right here. I love you, Boo Bear. I know your friends are gonna make fun of you because of that, but I don't care. I love you. So, so when I got out of the hospital, I hit the ground running, you know, with the help of my sister. And that was another inspiration that I had, you know, my oldest sister, Sonia. She took me into her house and she wouldn't allow me to feel sorry for myself. She wouldn't allow me. I mean, she has my dad's spirit. Like, my dad was that tough love kind of person. So she would not allow me to feel sorry for myself. And I appreciate her for that, because I needed that. I needed that kick in the butt. She got me back on my feet. You know, after I lost everything, I lost my job and everything else. I lost everything. I thought the world was over. I could have pouted. You know what I mean? I could have went off to the corner and said, why me, and throw a pity party. You know what I'm saying? I could have did that. You know what I'm saying? Or I could have just went a different route, an easier route. But I wanted to hit this ground running, you know, and she helped me. I got a little job at Target just to get myself on my feet and, you know, pay a little bills or whatever. And then I started a job with FedEx. Probably like 3 months into working for Target, I found out I got another job with FedEx. And at the time, I thought it was just an amazing opportunity for me to make more money, be able to pay off my bills, and continue doing what I was doing. Granted, it was part-time, but I was able to put money in my pocket and invest into my dream. So with that being part-time, I wanted to supplement my income. So I was like, why not cook some of these meals that I've been cooking for myself and share with other people? So I started a small meal prepping business. And for not having any type of advertising, no advertising budget or anything like that, I was doing pretty good, you know, and I was doing all of this by myself. I did invite a friend of mine to help out with the business, so I could help, you know, her situation. But it didn't work out. You know, the business didn't work out. You know, after she came aboard, it just didn't work out, and I had to end up shutting that down. Was I heartbroken about that? Yes, because I felt that I was actually doing something and I was making a big difference, you know, and I was pretty heartbroken about, you know, my meal prep business being shut down, because I looked at it as like, this is the legacy, this is it, this is what I'm going to be leaving, you know, for my child and her children's children, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is the legacy, this is it, this is what God wants me to do. So yeah, I was heartbroken, but I had to go back to the drawing board. And I'm like, I really wasn't comfortable with being in front of the camera. It was just difficult to just talk in front of a camera, give instructions, and you get no feedback. So I did what any person would do in that situation, and I started a YouTube channel. Even though I was uncomfortable, I was like, I have to do something. I have to spread this word. I have to show people what I went through so they don't have to go through it. I have to show people a different way of eating, you know, because I know when people think about, like, you know, a plant-based diet, they just think of like this boring salad and that's all you eat. But I discovered so many different foods that you can eat, and you can imitate the other foods that you used to eat, but it's still being healthy and you still get that flavor. So I started YouTube, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna keep it a full 100. My first few videos were trash. I mean, all I had was I just had my iPhone 6 and a few books, and that's it. So I mean, the angle was looking upwards, and I was trying to find my voice. And that's another thing, like, you know, content creators don't understand, is you have to be able to find your voice. Because at first I was like kind of like a robot, you know, going through the motions. I was like, you know, good morning, good afternoon, you know, good evening, wherever you're at in the world. Like, I was doing like corny stuff like that, and it just wasn't me, because I was afraid to show the world who I really was. I was afraid of judgment. I was afraid of, you know, of disappointment. So I told myself, no matter what you do, each video, it has to be better. You have to learn from the last video, study the last video, and then do something different from the next video. And that's just how I got better with, you know, angles and lighting and sound. And I had to learn. I had a lot of sleepless nights, but this is what I wanted to do. You know, I have this vision in my mind, like, I want to have this land where, like, I can have all my family there taken care of. They don't have to worry about anything else because I got them taken care of. That was my vision, and it still is my vision. So I just kept going. Like, I had sleepless nights, I'm not gonna lie. I couldn't sleep in, you know. I still had to go to work because I had to pay the bills, but I had to sacrifice, you know, my TV time. I had to sacrifice going out with my friends. I had to sacrifice a lot, and getting in touch with, you know, people, and being around, you know, friends and families. Like, I had to really isolate myself. And it worked. It worked, because eventually I got better. Eventually I got comfortable around the camera. Just going through what I said, all of that to say this. I went through just the darkness and back. I had many opportunities to just give up. give up on my dream, just give up on my health, because I was so angry. And one thing this sister told me, the nurse told me, was whatever is in your mind, let it go. You know what I mean? Look forward, move on. Because as long as you keep holding on to what you have in the past and who did you wrong and how you're going to pay this person back, it's going to start killing you on the inside. It is. You got to just let stuff go. You have to just let stuff go, because when you hold on to it, it's just going to blur your vision for your future. It's going to be an anchor. It's going to slow your boat down, and you're trying to go full throttle. So I wanted to be able to help a larger scale of people and not food shame them. I'm definitely not a food shamer. You know what I mean? My job is to show you a different way of eating. Now, I'm not saying stop eating everything that you've been eating. I'm just saying introduce some more stuff into your life to get your body going. You ain't gotta eat meat, bacon, and all that stuff every single day, every single week. You don't have to. You can mix it up. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm here for. That's what my show is for. My show is to show you other options. My show is to show you that with these options, you still get that amazing flavor that you get with the food that you've been eating. You know what I'm saying? But it's just a healthier twist. You feel me? We're just going to finesse the game a little bit. With my show, you're going to get good entertainment. Because, I like to clown, I like to talk mess. I am kind of like I'm a wild card. I say what's on my mind. And that's just it. I say what I say. And I like to keep it real with people. You know what I mean? I don't shame no one. I don't like to disrespect no one. I treat everyone how I would like to be treated. I am the type that will give you tough love. But that's what it is. It's just love. So I want to see you succeed in your health journeys. So with everything being said, I want to thank you guys for taking the time to watching this. Make sure you tune in to DiaBEAST Kitchen. And I'm going to end on this note. If you eat good, you live good, and you feel good. And don't forget to tune in. Tell a friend. Holla at your boy. Peace.